let's dig into source. So, source is the second pillar of coherence. And real quick, before we get into the tarot reading, I'm going to describe source a little bit, and then I'll describe my philosophy around tarot a little bit, and then we'll dive into the reading. So, what is source? If you have watched any content with me around this, you will know I personally am a deeply spiritual person. I read tarot cards. I am a crystal girly. I love all that stuff. But we are sourced from so many things. We are sourced from our DNA, our genetics. We are sourced from our ancestry, our lineage. We are sourced from the way our parents nurture us, the way our caretakers and adults nurture us, our environment, our society, right? Like nature and nurture, all of those source us. There's also this added immaterial thing that even materialists will tell you exists, which is consciousness. Consciousness, for strict materialists, will say can be accounted for through materialism. I don't think that's a good argument, which gets into a whole other can of worms, but even materialists will say that this thing that feels immaterial actually is material. We just experience consciousness in this way that makes it seem as though we're more than just neurons firing. But even if you're there, right, if that's your worldview that you believe, you have a very distinct relationship to where you came from, right? Even if you don't believe in a higher power, there is something about our roots, right? There are plenty of atheists who go to therapy, and discuss like childhood trauma and shadow work in your psychology. You don't need to believe in a higher power to work on these things that source you. Then there's the other dimension of this that is deep spirituality, that is, what sort of soul, consciousness, chi, energy, heart space, love and light, all of the words that are used to talk about this now, that a lot of us believe in. I have been recently calling it wholeness because I think there is some whole that we're all a part of, and we are experiencing it as a singularity. Like we are a singular experience of that whole. You'll have heard we are spiritual beings having a human experience. We are fingertips of God's consciousness. We are made in God's image, right? Like all of these very famous spiritual and religious idioms, sayings. And I think there is a deep spirituality there. And we're seeing a move towards people who are like, well, I'm spiritual, but not religious, And then there is, of course, the added dimension of religion too, and people who do have a more structured view of what that God is that sources us. Like, what is the creator? Is the creator a being or not? I don't know. You tell me. But we are sourced from something, whether or not you are, wherever you fall on this diagram of what the hell's going on here. We're sourced from something and you have a relationship to it. And it manifests as the mystery because I do think this is the mystery of the human experience, right? There's something that's like, again, even scientists and like in the realm of quantum physics, that's just like there's the explanatory gap between the wave and the particle. There's the hard problem of consciousness. Even in these very logical reasoning worlds, there's still just this like, but what is going on here? And then of course, materialism and religion kind of seek to answer this mystery, to give us something to cling to. I like to just hold open the mystery. For me, I think that feels the most spiritual and the most aligned, is to just kind of be like, well, I don't really know what's going on here, but I want to sit in the tension of that. But whatever your relationship to source is, it's mysterious. And that's kind of what I want to evoke when we talk about source. My relationship with tarot definitely reflects this. If you're someone who is like, it's literally just cards, like, what? Whatever the card has to say, maybe it makes you think of something differently. The same way, like, you don't have to believe in astrology, but if your horoscope says, be mindful to take care of yourself today, and it makes you think, huh, maybe I should make sure I like drink more water today. Like it's still beneficial, right? And even if it's something deep in your psyche or your subconscious, you don't need to believe in a higher power to believe in like self-help, right? And you can use tarot as a tool for that in my belief system. I also believe that if you're deeply religious and you view tarot as evil, as bad, um, I thought your God was all powerful, telling me they can't speak to you through cards and protect you from any evil energy that's coming through playing cards. So that's kind of my 2 cents on that front is like growing up in Texas, I was surrounded by a lot of Southern Baptist Christians and went to a Church of Christ middle school. Like I get it. I've heard the whole like witches are evil thing my whole life. Um Astrology is of the devil, but I think if you truly believe in an all good, all knowing, all powerful God, they'll protect you and give you a message through cards. Then, if you're kind of like me and you're somewhere in the middle, maybe universal energy is speaking through the cards. Maybe there is something to that. I believe that whatever this wholeness is powerful enough to send me a message. Um, if there is a message to be sent. But I also believe that if it's not from that source, there is something in the psychology that's deeply profound too. We can have a combination of this in our relationship to the tool that is tarot.